welcome to another Tuesday Tint Wisdom. My name's Eric, and tonight is New Year's Eve, and we're going to be counting down the top 10 best practices that you can use in your business that are guaranteed to bring you good fortune in 2020. So, we're just going to jump right into that top 10. And before we do that, we do have a quote for today's show. So I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for everybody to get in the chat. If you're already in the chat, please leave a comment if you can see and if you can hear me okay. And I'm going to pull up the stream in the chat on my end, and then we'll get going. Tonight is New Year's Eve. All right. So it sounds like I'm coming through pretty well. So I'm going to jump right in and get going with today's quote. So today's quote is, "A different version of you exists in the minds of everyone who knows you." So think about it. Who are you? Who you think you are is just basically your, all your experiences, everything that you've done throughout your life, how you've reacted, everything. And you've kind of formed a thought of who you are. Now, everyone else hasn't had those same experiences with you. So they're looking at you through their eyes and through the experiences that they have had with you. So how they're going to see you is probably different than how you see yourself. Now, that's the case with friends, but that's certainly the case even with family. Everybody sees you differently. So then the question is, who's the real you? Which is, is it you? Is it your opinion, or is it other people's opinion? And really, there is no real you. You are just who you're acting, who you've been in the past and who you're acting like today and in the future. So what I'm getting at, and why I picked this quote for today, is because you can drop the version of you that you've been, and you can be the version of you that you want to be, and you can start that right now. Okay, so the idea is, moving into the new year, drop the narrative that you may have about who you are and, where your patience level is and what you're good at, what you're not good at. All too often I hear people say, I'm not a computer guy. Well, if you have that narrative going in your head that you're not a computer guy, every time you're faced with something computer related, no matter how simple it may be, you are going to have a wall that comes up in front of you. And that's your own, mind telling you, I'm not a computer guy. This is going to be difficult. And when you look at things through those perspectives, it can do you no good. I think the best way to look at things is through an optimistic, a curious, an open-minded view. And, I think this quote to me reminds me to do that. So, once again, a different version of you exists in the minds of everyone who knows you. So, be the version of you that you want to be. Drop those old narratives that you might have about who you are, and, be the best version of you going into this year. So that is why we picked that quote. Looks like we have a few people in the chat. David, Marco, Robbie, I appreciate you joining on a New Year's Eve. This one won't be long, so thank you for joining. Spencer just joined, Spencer Burke. He's actually our guest coming up this Thursday, so the day after tomorrow. Spencer is a social media influencer and marketer, and he's going to be coming on to talk about, the best practices that have helped him become extremely successful in the social media platforms, as well as the strategies that he uses for his clients, because his business is called Burke Marketing, and what they do is they manage the social media accounts of other businesses. And I know he has a really wide variety of types of businesses, but one of the core groups that I know he focuses on is window tint, PPF, wrap, ceramic coatings, businesses, detailers, and so on. So it'll be exciting to get his firsthand experience having managed so many different accounts, and find out a little more of what he does, what he has to offer, and what he sees working. So Spencer, thank you for joining, and Happy New Year to you. Chris, thank you for joining as well. I had the pleasure of speaking to Chris yesterday over the phone for the first time. And, it's just, I love, people like Chris, super, positive and ambitious. And, it's just, I feel like those meetings of the minds are like a valuable exercise for your brain. So Chris, it was nice chatting with you yesterday. And it looks like we have quite a few people in here today. So I'm going to jump into the top 10 best practices that I know you should be using for your business in this upcoming year. I really feel confident saying if you just follow one of them, you're going to find that when you look back a few months into this year, that it was worth following. If you follow all of them, I think it'll be a just game changer for your business. So let's get into number 10. Number 10 is join all Facebook groups. What I mean by that is not all Facebook groups, but all industry-related Facebook groups. So what you can join is all the window film Facebook groups. Once you've joined all of them, Window Film Pros, Window Film Revolution, Tint Stuff, Window Tinting Business, even WTF Feud, they all have something to offer. You never know. Film Vendors Group. I mean, there's a lot of them. So make sure you search them all by window film and by window tint as a category in Facebook and join them all. Then from there, you can start to join groups like detailers groups if you're in the automotive tinting field. Clearbra PPF, Vinyl Wraps, they all have their groups. You can even go for like flat glass, go out into like the Glazier Nation and, you know, different glass companies. And as you expand these groups, you start to put yourself in a community of people that either you're going to learn more about your industry and your business, or it becomes a networking opportunity for you to work with, you know, people you meet online. So join all the Facebook groups and make the most of them. What's up, Mike Powell? Thanks for joining. Daniel, today's topic is we're going to be counting down the top 10 best practices that will bring you good fortune in 2020. And the first one is join all Facebook groups. So covered that already. I'm going to move on to number 9, but you can definitely rewind if you missed number 10. Attend dealer meeting and industry events. So we have dealer meetings coming up for most manufacturers, and then you have the window film convention in October. That takes place, or actually in September. It's September 23rd through the 25th. It's going to be taking place in this year in Orlando, Florida, the convention center. And you absolutely have to go. Make sure you block off those days. Make it a priority to attend that convention. And if you can make your dealer's meeting, if your dealer is hosting a meeting in the next few months, go to that as well. These meetings and networking events are crazy valuable when you go into them with the right, you know, intentions. And that intention should be to meet everybody, to meet anybody, and to listen. Because when you're listening, you're learning. And, you know, you can learn from the people beside you that you might have thought of as competition. You can learn from the presenters of the meetings, and then also just, you know, the networking and the relationships you form with the manufacturers can become extremely valuable throughout that year. Because, you know, once you get to know the manufacturers, you get to know the owners of the company and then the people in the different management positions. When you call upon them for support throughout the year, or when opportunities come up on their end, you know, you are in line to take advantage of that. So definitely attend everything window film related, or even, you know, industry related. So you might be in window film, but, you know, there might be a wrap convention or a paint protection or a training, or just go to as much stuff as possible, because you don't know what you're going to learn until sometimes it presents itself. And the things you learn can then be applied for the rest of your life. So the payback on those things are more than just today. It's more than just the weekend or the few days you spend. The payback will be for the rest of your life. So go to them. If you've been to ones in the past and you weren't so impressed, that doesn't mean that you're not going to strike gold tomorrow at a different event. So definitely attend everything you can attend this year. Get the most out of your Yelp profile. This is obviously a controversial one, but if you want to have good fortune in 2020, if you want to make more money, if you want to see your business grow, just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about what you've heard in the past. Don't worry about what you've experienced in the past. Jump into your Yelp account, go to the back end, fill out everything you can fill out. Offer coupons, offer gift certificates, offer call to actions for mobile, for desktop. Add as many pictures as you possibly can to your profile. Add captions to those pictures. Just fill in your profile. Make sure your description describes all the services that your businesses offer. In the first 2-3 lines of that description is where you want to include those keywords. You know, include information about you and why your business is so special and your experience as a business owner and so on. Include as much information as possible, and you're going to see returns from that on its own. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can put put out some marketing material, mention it to your customers. Hey, we are on Yelp. We really appreciate if you can leave us a review. And you'll start to see as you get more reviews, it's like a snowball. So, a little piece of snow, you may not even notice that it landed on your head. But as that snow goes down a mountain and gains traction, and as you get more reviews, because you get more reviews, you get more business. Because you get more business, you get more reviews. And you start to see that good traction. If that, snowballed snowflake was to land on your head, you would certainly notice it. And that is the Yelp effect, okay? The businesses that stand out on Yelp are the ones that receive the benefit. So do the things that I just mentioned to make your business stand out on Yelp, and then reap the rewards throughout the year, next year, and so on. Because once you get that momentum going, it's very difficult for your competitors to ever stop it, because it takes a while to catch up. It's not an easy thing. It has to be built organically and authentically. So what that means is there's great rewards at the end. So number 8 is get the most out of your Yelp profile. Number 7, update your website. Your website should not be something you build and leave alone for 5 years, whenever the last time you had it built. Make sure that your website is in the hands of a web designer or yourself, if you're capable, that can make updates to the website, to make improvements, to make sure that it's running as fast as it should, to make sure it's an accurate representation of your business. What that means is all the services you offer, all your recent work, everything that you want to communicate to your customers should be on your website, because people go to your website. That's an opportunity to communicate those things. Having the services on your website is an opportunity for your website to be found. So it is very, 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 very important that your website is a living, active thing, that it gets updated. If you're not going to update it on the weekly or monthly basis, I understand, but make sure going into 2020, you update it, you make sure it is the representation of your business that you want it to be, because it is your online real estate. It is your storefront, and more businesses are realizing and taking advantage of that. In the current age, you don't have to be on a main road to get traffic. People find you online. They make their decision before they even talk to you most of the time. So your online presence is your storefront, and your website is a huge part of your online presence. It may not feel that way because you're not getting the communication like you do with a platform like Facebook or Instagram, where people are leaving you comments. But I 100% guarantee you, website is a huge, huge, huge presence. So don't sleep on your website. And thank you all for joining. Ed, what's up? Parker, you're more than welcome. Ed, you're more than welcome. Thank you all for always supporting Tint Wiz, for supporting Tint Wizdom. And, we're going to be finding we have a lot of different ways planned out for 2020 that we feel like we can give back to the community, that we can grow the community, we can offer opportunity, and just, have a fun time doing it. So, thank you all, really. So moving on from number 7, which was updating your website and making sure you're taking full advantage of it, is number 6, which is going to be save the info of every lead and customer. Now, this may be one that you're just saying, I don't understand. Why would I need to do that? Well, the obvious reasons are so that you can do follow-ups, because when you follow up with a customer, you're going to close a large amount more than that. You're also going to be able to provide better service. So I can guarantee you, this is just one of those things you just have to do. If a personal trainer tells you just warm up 10 minutes on the treadmill, you don't really question it. You just do it, right? Just get on that treadmill, do the 10 minutes, do the warm up. It doesn't matter. If the doctor tells you need to eat a multivitamin, just take the multivitamin. Don't question it. I am prescribing you number 6, which is save the lead. Save your leads and every customer's information. Save as much information about them as possible as you can. Take pictures of the projects you do, every single transaction, whether it was just a phone call or whether it turned into a paying customer. Save the information of that. You're able to use that in so many different ways. You're going to see more and more and more ways unfold this year that you can take advantage when you have your customers' information. So that's just one of those you have to do. Save your information. I definitely, obviously recommend Tint Wiz, but frankly, save your information however you feel comfortable and progress from there. Sometimes jumping into the best solution may seem like a big step, and you feel more comfortable saying, hey, I'm going to take baby steps. Baby steps are perfect. As long as you're moving in the right direction, it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you're taking actionable, conscious steps to move in the right direction. So what I mean by that is take better notes, save more information, do things consciously, and you're going to see the rewards just start to come in. Number 5 is hire someone to alleviate the tasks least worthy of your time. So what I mean by that is I would love to see everybody hire somebody this year. Now, that doesn't mean you hire a tinter. It doesn't mean you hire a receptionist. It doesn't mean you hire any specific person. It may be full-time. It may be part-time. But what I'm saying is find ways to take the parts of your business that give you the least reward and take up the most time, and find someone else to do those little parts of your business, and then use that time to apply it where you're going to get the most reward for your business. So I want to give you a very simple way that doesn't even require hiring per se. Okay? If you have a shop that has grass out front, how much time do you spend maintaining the front of your shop? How much time do you spend mowing the grass? How much time do you spend cleaning the inside of your shop, cleaning the lobby, stocking the drinks, and so on? Now, is that something that somebody could do for $10 an hour? Absolutely it is. Or $12 an hour, or $9 an hour. There's plenty of people who would love to do that for that amount per hour, or as a fixed amount per day or per week. That's a simple way that you can alleviate, cleaning your shop. That might not be your best use of time. Now, a way Matt from Naples Tint mentioned on last week's Tint Wisdom, he just hired somebody, and I've seen some of the videos he's put out, and he has that person stocking the front, or stocking the snacks. He has them plotting windows. He has him applying some windows. He has him prepping glass. He's training him. He's giving him the smallest tasks in the shop to do, to be able to alleviate some time for him to apply them where he can get the biggest return. And when you trade those tasks, those low-hanging tasks, for some better opportunities, you find yourself just, I think, enjoying your business more because you're doing the things that are providing you the return, and you're going to find that they're naturally growing your business. So, that's number 5. Hire someone to alleviate the tasks, the least worthy tasks of your time. Cut up your time, find where you're spending time throughout the day, find what part of that time you enjoy least and what part you're getting the least return for your investment monetarily, and try to find somebody to do those tasks for you. And you'll see it's a great way to really just up the quality of your experience in your own business. Number 4 is try to say yes more to customers. So try to start your sentences with yes and, not but, except. Try to start your sentences with absolutely. Try to find ways to say yes to your customer. If there's a job that's difficult, don't tell them about the difficulty of it. Tell them how you're the most qualified to do that job and why. Because when you say yes, customers automatically, people you're speaking to, they automatically get a little boost. They know that you're going to take care of them. It also makes you feel happier about what you're about to embark on. So say yes, say yes, say yes. Whether that be a difficult job or maybe even that be a service you don't provide. So right now you may be doing just window film and you may want to get into ceramic coatings or paint protection film or wraps or whatnot. Or your customer may want their home tinted. Whatever it may be, try to say yes to them, whether that mean you finding out what it takes for you to do the job, or you making a connection in your industry and finding someone that can do the job for you. So you might do the window tinting portion, and you may bring in a master detailer to do a paint correction and clear bra on that car's ceramic coating. And that can be a way that you say yes to your customer, you make more money for your shop, you make money for another shop, and you form a valuable connection with someone in your industry. That is a way to grow, a way to get experience. The next step from there is, once you've formed those connections, you can continue to take advantage of those connections, or you may feel comfortable from your experience moving into those industries as on your own. So try to say yes to your customers. Your customers are calling you because they have a problem. Try to say yes to them. If they want a consultation on a Sunday morning, try to say yes to them. What's the big deal? Just go do it. Make them happy. The amount of reward that customers give you back in positive reviews, in happy customers, in referrals, it just pays to say yes and go out of your way. So say yes, say yes, say yes. It can be a habit to say no and you don't realize it comes out of your mouth, or to be kind of bring up the negative. That isn't so useful when you're on the customer end. So say yes, say yes, say yes. That's number 4. Number 3 is step up the politeness and the extra time you spend teaching your customers. So everybody's going to be start on a different level here. Don't think, well, I already do this. You don't already do what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take it up a notch. Okay, so if you feel like you already educate your customers, how can you educate them more? Is there a follow-up text you can send them after you speak to them on the phone that tells them everything you just said, so that they can take in what you just said and maybe things they missed? Is there additional things you can email them? Is there other things you can explain? Have you started to explain things in a way that maybe makes sense to you because of all your industry knowledge, but may not be the clearest way to communicate to your customers? So rethink how you educate your customers, rethink the level of politeness, how cheery you sound on the phone and so on, and try to just take it up a notch. So whether you're a grumpy person or whether you're a cheery person, there's always room for improvement there. So just take it up a notch and see the rewards that come from it. Because, I call the bank, you call AT&T, you call T-Mobile, you call the cable company, anyone you have to call, even you call the service department at the car dealer, you just tend to get, people who just don't seem to be in love with their job. So as a window film installer, you have the opportunity to blow their mind and shock them when you come at them with such a positive way. So step up the politeness, spend extra time teaching customers, and that is number 3. We have a comment. Chris said, I think I've made more friends on Facebook's tint pages than I do in normal life. And that goes back to the value, I think number 10 on this was, join all the tint groups, join every tint group, not just in the window film industry, but in the industry surrounding the window film industry, the glass, the wraps, the paint protection, the detailers, the architects, the contractors. Join the groups and you'll see positive rewards from it. And Daniel said same. Groups are an awesome way to meet people in the community. Even joining like a Tesla group. You join the Tesla group, you're going to be able to answer questions for Tesla owners. You're going to get more Tesla customers. You're going to see what they're looking for. You're going to see their comparisons. You're going to see when they're price shopping other shops. It helps you. It's only going to help. There's nothing to lose. So join the Facebook groups. They're all free. Number 2. Identify and then focus on your best product or service. So what I mean by that is take a look at all the different services you're offering and then the ones that customers are buying and take a look at them, separate them maybe on a piece of paper and just, figure out how much time do they take to do, figure out how much profit margin you make on them and figure out how much you enjoy doing them. And also figure out the potential of is this a product or service that could potentially double or triple for you in the next year? Is this a growing trend? Is this a shrinking trend? Is this something you enjoy doing and you want to do more of? Or is it something you don't really want to focus on? And, identify, what do you make the most profits in? Which line of film, which specific service? Is there a type of car? Is there a size of home? What is it that makes you the most money, brings you the most enjoyment, and uses the least amount of your time? And when you separate your services in that, that's going to be your North Star, your guidance to where you take this upcoming year. When you want to, when you have some money to advertise, you're going to know, well, what do I want to advertise? Because you know what's going to bring you the most enjoyment, the most profit, and take up the least amount of your time, or even just be the growing industry. So break down your products and services and get a better idea of what services you want to focus on, which are going to bring you the biggest returns this year. And that is definitely something you want to always know, because sometimes you can find yourself doing a product, you can do a service and you don't realize you're not making as much money as another service and you might have upsold that service. So you have to know what makes you the most money, what takes up the least amount of your time, and what do you enjoy doing the most. Focus in that direction and you're going to build yourself a more profitable and enjoyable business. So that is number 2. And number 1, the number one thing is completely ignore your competitors for the entire year. So this entire year, 2020, the thing that I suggest most for everyone is focus on the previous 9 things I mentioned and do not look at your competitors. So for this, I want to bring up an analogy. Now think you're running a race, okay? And you're running this race, and as you're running this race, you're looking over at your competitors, okay? And you see them a little behind you. what is that going to do? You're going to potentially start to slow down. You're getting tired. You see that you're way ahead. Maybe you can sit down. Maybe you can take a break. Maybe you can even stop for a drink or go to the bathroom because you're way ahead of them, okay? When you focus on your competitors, now let's take the opposite. You see them a little ahead of you. That might make you feel like giving up. You may feel like you've lost. You may feel like they have an advantage over you. You may feel like it's not worth running because who cares? They're so far ahead. When you're looking at your competitors, you're focusing on your competition, nothing good comes out of it. So what I suggest, the most important thing for you to do this year is don't look at your competitors. Unfollow them on social media. You don't need to know. Your competitors become unimportant to you, and you focus on your customers. Focus on your business, focus on your customers, focus on providing the best service you can for your customers. Focus on providing the best products you can. Focus on making the most money you can. Focus on every part of your business that you want to focus on. And don't look back. Don't look to the side. Don't look in front of you. Focus on you. And how you'll come out of this year is you're going to be blown away with the progress you made when you use all that time and all that energy and focusing on those things and not limiting yourself to, what you're seeing around you and all sorts of insecurities and mixed emotions and feelings of maybe jealousy and who knows what when you're looking at pictures online. So number one thing for this year is completely ignore your competitors and focus on the other 9 things that I mentioned on this video. So that's it. Those are the top 10 for this year. I really want to thank everybody watching live now, everybody who watches this after. This is our 23rd Tint Wisdom, and I'm just so excited about what this year has to come. I've really enjoyed the amount of people I've been able to meet at the dealer meetings, at the Window Film Convention, and through Tint Wisdom, as well as users through Tint Wiz. So, I just wish everybody the best for this year, and I'm looking forward to the ride for 2020. Thank you, everyone, and have a happy and blessed New Year's Eve and New Year. We're going to see you this Thursday with Spencer Burke. We'll be talking social media. He's a social media expert, so it'll be same time, same place, our Facebook Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you on Thursday. Thanks again for watching.